And then under it says The Record, which is a link. And then it says...
To the Record website again.
Yeah. And then it says, when it speeds and it's tough to make out, I'll be here to help. And then below that it says, a symbol, not an event. For those who have reached an understanding, that date will never fade. It will remain. That is more powerful than material to open your eyes. That's the whole...
A lot of sense.
Whole website there. There's a little note in the HTML here, which I suspect was uploaded before October 28th, just because it says soon, October 28th, all over the world. And then it says, this website was and continues not to be a scam. It will remain here for when it is needed for answers. And then it has that if you're expecting explosions, destruction bit down there too. This bit of grammar is the most troubling thing to me. This website was and continues not to be a scam. It's
more better English. But okay, wait. I want to point something out because we're going to talk. At least I intend to talk about this in theories. I want to point out that it says here in the text that is not what this is about. There has never been a mention of an ending. There will be a 29th. So those who continue to look for an event, so that's something that I want to point out that's in the code.
Yeah,
which we're going to talk about later.
Which I read a little earlier, but we'll continue to. Yeah, that's fine.
There's been so many things flying around here. I apologize.
Yeah, no, it's totally fine. So the link goes to the record. On the PDF, there's a nice little screen cap of a post that was made on October 31st.
More stream of consciousness
Lots
stuff.
of really stream of consciousness stuff. And then the website changes to just be some weird stuff. It basically transitions to this website that's got the ellipses thing at the top. And then it has one little phrase that changes, and then under it, it's a link to the record, and then it says, I've received emails regarding quite a few people's experience, sudden and frequent rushes through their day. Please post for the record. And that stays pretty much the same. There's just this one little bit that changes over and over again. The first one just says determinism, ?
Mm-hmm.
Deep. The next one...
If you had said that in my voice, you wouldn't have needed the question mark. Because I always say things as a question.
Yeah.
The next one is tunnel ill lost change the picture with 2.
Which is in brackets, the change the picture part.
Yeah.
What the hell does that mean?
And then it says, proof of what you're capable of. Reach belief. 1 gets you there. 4 proves no illusion. You can still. How can be. How is any of this here? Don't ask yourself the question. Dwell on it. There's one where it says, this one on November 10th says Masayumoto, which is like all one word, but it's actually referring to Masaru Emoto, who you probably know who this person is. I'm going to say the thing that this person is famous for, and that is water quantum physics. If you saw What the Bleep Do We Know, he's the guy who's like really famous for like this kind of quack science of human consciousness can totally change the molecular structure of water, man.
Our thoughts and emotions
influence it, which is why you have to think good thoughts about yourself, and the water in your body will be good.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk like that, by the way. He's like a 70-year-old Japanese man. He does not talk like that.
Yeah.
I would love it if that came out of his mouth, though.
Yeah.
I do want to say, though, that movie was certainly full of quack science.
Oh, yeah. This website reminds me a lot of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
When did that movie come out again?
A while back. I don't remember.
2004.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's a significant amount of time before this happened.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean that everybody saw it when they...
No, but what I meant was, you know how this happens? Somebody makes the crazy adventurer stealing artifacts and fighting Nazi movie, and then suddenly there's 7 knockoff versions of that movie in short succession.
Yeah.
It's that same kind of phenomena.
Yeah. I agree. So let's go ahead and just skip the rest of everything. You guys, I'm sure will go look at the PDF.
Pour through the pages. There's lots.
Pour through them, yeah. So we're going to talk about just the one manual first, and then I guess we can talk about theories kind of stuff.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. There are 5 manuals altogether. I'm kind of using air quotes here around the manuals because most of them are just like 2 sentences.
They're pretty simple.
But the first one is apparently key to, everything. At the top of this page, it says, "No, it's not an illusion." Okay.
I never said it was.
Number 1 is an image of 2 guys. It's like a mirror image.
Two
of,
silhouettes.
2 silhouettes standing. One's red and one's blue. I don't know why.
Because of the pills?
Yep. And then the next image is like IKEA people sitting in chairs.
Staring at each other?
Yeah, eye level. And then
Making eye contact. There's a line drawn between their eyes.
And 3 is like some symbols of like how one should make eye contact. Like, don't look at this eye, look at this eye, and look at these particular places in the eye. And then there's an image. Those are in black and white. And then there's 2 images of eyes. One that's a hazel eye looking kind of off, like not centered, and one that's a blue eye that's looking directly at. And in between these 2 images, it clarifies it's not about color, it's the position.
Oh, so it's not only for blue-eyed people.
It's not only blue-eyed people. Anybody can do it.
I feel so much better now.
Yeah, me too. And then the 4th step is that you sit like IKEA people at eye level with a timer, a giant timer in between you, with 3 minutes on the clock. I don't actually know if 3 minutes is like the important
I don't know
part.
that
I
it's
don't think
necessarily
3
a
minutes
giant timer either.
Yeah. And you like look at blue eyes directly. And then step 5, which is apparently the most important step, but also the most disturbing Photoshop.
Worst Photoshop.
Is you look direct, like it's just like a rectangle of a woman's face cut out that's just her eyes.
And it's got that weird...
It's got the weird like blur thing on it. And then like right below it, somebody took like a black fuzz tool to it. I think it's meant to represent like focus only on the eyes.
Exactly.
Like you make eye contact.
The eyes are kind
Joe
of
and I are
lit up,
just
everything
making
else.
eye contact right now. Just stare.
Really...
Like don't focus on anything. Let everything else fuzz out. Are you letting it fuzz out?
Yeah.
Are you looking at it? I know my eyes
Stop
aren't blue,
looking at
so
his
it doesn't
awesome
work.
hair.
It's like, yeah. No, I'm not. Everything else is not fuzzing out now.
Yeah. Okay. And then the 6th image is like IKEA people sitting. And then it says one person. Over one person it says anticipate, and then over the other person it says pick a number 1 to 10, and then under it says once you get that you'll realize more. Move up in difficulty. See what others have. It is there. So I think the purpose of this manual is to get people to telepathically talk. To like synchronize consciousness, maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say there is talk that this is meant to represent an exchange of consciousness.
Yeah. So under that, there's a broken YouTube link, which actually links to...
Because everybody tries to steal copyrighted content and then finds their channel shut down.
Yeah, so it links to Season 2, Episode 5 of Through the Wormhole, which you guys remember Through the Wormhole.
Oh, yeah.
Another TV show I must have missed.
Through the Wormhole is a TV show in which Morgan Freeman, a.k.a. God, explains the universe because he's tired of humans not understanding the awesomeness of his creation.
Because we're dumb.
Because we're dumb. Anyway, this episode was called Is There a Sixth Sense? And so it's like a little part of it. And then it says 0 to 450. Which I think means watch until like
watch the first 4 minutes and 50 seconds of it, and then don't watch the rest of it.
And then under it says, it must, bold, be observed, not told. Observation is everything. This isn't spiritual. It's not religious or beliefs. This is only part of the coming date. Nothing escapes a black hole, not even light. And then step 7, apparently underneath there, says, don't accept what blinds you. Is it an illusion? Ask yourself what is... God, the grammar is so bad. I'm sorry. Ask yourself what it really is when you're there. If particles react to consciousness or an observation, and all the things are made of them, then so must everything be consciousness. If that holds true, what if you observe what you believe to be real? Does it become that? When did the manual start working for you? This, of all of the parts, sounds the most like What the Bleep. Because basically that's what that whole movie is like. You can just think it into consciousness and then it exists.
I sure as hell wish I could.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'd be a millionaire. I wouldn't be doing
I'd
this
be
for
a
getting a
billionaire.
podcast.
So, you know, the funny thing is that I just noticed on this page that I have seen on a lot of them, but I don't think we've mentioned, is that there is some odd application of font styling. In other words, I mean bold In one of the early pages, there was something about going back to the trains. The word train was in italics, but the S was in regular. Like, there's a lot of odd uses of that through this entire site. Now, what that means, I don't know, but I noticed it again and wanted to say something.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's overall a weird website. So I'm feeling solid in the amount of we've talked about. Do you of you have something we want to bring up before we start talking about theories? Steve's got his black book out, so I suspect he might.
We'll solve this one. Yeah.
For reference, this is manual too, the entirety of it.
Oh, let's take a look. Let's take a look at it. This is it.
Yeah, it's it.
Okay, here's manual 2. Look into it until they open again. Next line. Need a helping hand? It's not a pyramid. See yourself to that point and keep going. Eventually, they'll reopen. This one takes time.
We should just sit while we're waiting for Steve.
No. You two can read all the manuals. It doesn't take long to read these manuals, guys.
Yeah.
So I'm fine.
Yeah.
This is my kind of manual, actually.
Yeah.
One sentence.
Yeah. Okay, so do you have something that you
I
want
have
to bring
some
up
things
before
that
we
I
start
want to
talking
point
about-
out. These are things that I just found rooting through the internet like a crazy person, because that apparently is what this one did to me. I can't wait to have my life back.
Never.
So when we were in the beginning, there's Project Pixels or Pixel Projects?
Nope, Project Pixels.
Is that it?
Yep.
Okay. Because there's also a pixelproject.net website out there, which is it's a weird flip of the words, and oddly, it's a website that is devoted to stopping violence against women. And there is also a thehumanproject.us, because you remember that the Project Pixels website said the Human Project.
Yeah.
Thehumanproject.us is a website that has a bunch of stuff on it that is all about the unification and advancement of mankind, or humankind, I should say, which is a really weird set of tie-ins. I really felt like the humanproject.us is much, much newer and probably has no link, but it's still a strange set of links to have found. Let's see, the other things that I found here, that is something to go into theories. I do want to note that this was not the only date website for the month of October.
There was another one?
Turns out somebody had been running October or Oct 21st, 2011.com. And I found that through some forum posts. Somebody else was talking about weird date websites. Because I don't know, Devin, you might remember this. There was an August 11th, 2011 site that had been hot that summer. Does that sound familiar to you at all?
Not even a little.
It was weird. And when the date came, the person who was hosting the August site admitted that it was totally just a gag. But this one, the Oct212011.com site, everything for it reroutes to another website no matter what date you pull. So somebody had a reroute on it. And it's, I'm going to spell this out because I don't know how this is pronounced. It is UMMOISM.com.
And what's there?
Well, it's totally an alien website.
Oh, okay.
It is totally about UFOs. There's a symbol for Uranus, or is it? Yes, Uranus. All over Uranus, whichever you like to say. I like to say Uranus, but that's just because it's me.
That's better for jokes.
It really is, because Uranus is not nearly as funny.
Oh yeah.
But it's a weird 7-day distinction that is linked to this other site, and that is something that you two and I have talked about before we started this episode, is that I was doing the math, or we did the math for October 28th. Somehow in all of the searching, something about this Umoism.com, whatever the alien Uranus website is, there's something where somebody had done the math and got this impression that aliens were coming to Earth, and they were at the asteroid belt, and the journey from there to Earth would take 301 days, which, according to us sitting here doing the math earlier, if they started on the first of the year, would be October 28th, of that year.
Oh.
So it's a weird thing.
Yeah.
That I don't know what the tie is.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about the obsession with October 28th when we talk about theories.
And I'm holding back some stuff, so we should probably just get into the theories.
And that's going to come in the last theory. I'm sorry, listeners. I know you guys hate it when we do this stuff, but...
it wasn't intentional, sorry.
Yeah.
So how long were these changes going on the site?
The updates to the pages?
Yeah.
It was sometime into 2012 that that's when, because we were looking at that page where it went like Masi, what was the Japanese?
Masimoto.
Thank you. I didn't want to butcher his name. I already did that. There was that. And then there was a version of it that had Space Eon or something like that. Mm-hmm. And those changes happened periodically in 2012. But I think the changes quit mid-2012, off the top of my head, without going back through the document.
I see. Okay.
So they were updating it for a decent amount of time.
That's what I think, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so theories.
Okay.
We're going to talk about
yeah.
these.
Yeah.
The first theory I'm going to bring up is one that you will see on Reddit, and there's one video. Please don't watch this YouTube video. It was really painful to watch. But it claims that a Reddit user... named Confederate America or something like that.
Of course.
Said that he made this for a class project and would everybody please stop calling him.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that one. Well, that was actually going to be...
This is dumb.
No, actually, that was going to be one of my theories, is that this was just some guy who was teaching himself HTML.
It's possible, but it's a lot... there's a lot of work that went into this.
Mm-hmm.
So there has to be something more to me than it just I'm just going to teach myself some HTML code. You don't make a site that links new websites off of, or new pages off of 12 different clicks on the same image.
When you're learning the code, it actually the hands-on thing is the way to do it, and it's it's a certain amount of work, but it's kind of fun. It can be fun, actually.
I have to agree with Joe, because the whole thing of ProjectPixels.com being the source for the very first page of this is somebody who doesn't know what they're doing and figuring it out.
Yeah.
Because I've done that with coding, and I think I agree with you. I don't think this theory is right, but I think that there is a lot of hands-on learning, and it is very possible that some community college kid was learning how to do this. Because this is when I went to school and had a web class. People did this.
Yeah.
They were like, oh yeah, oh well, where's your? Oh well, so I stayed up till 4 a.m. working on my projects, and then I got this goofy idea, and so I just changed it. Well, did you save a copy of it so we can show it to the class? Oh no, I didn't know you could do that. That kind of goofy stuff happened.
Yeah, I don't think it was a class project though. The reason being is it started in early August. Mm-hmm. It would have started in September if it was a class project, and maybe
or later,
or maybe continued on the second term, after January into 2012.
I really feel like the last college I went to, I started in August.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't start you on projects early August.
I remember my web class, we got thrown. The guy was like, the only way you're going to learn is doing it. We're going to talk about this for 20 minutes. You're going to go watch this tutorial, and you're going to make something, and it's going to suck.
Okay, so in my web programming classes, they gave you a domain. You didn't go out. So that, it would be weird to me that they were like, yeah, go buy your own domain, call it whatever you want, and create an entire labyrinth of website or web pages.
Oh, see, I don't think they told them to do that far. I think somebody took it that far.
Okay, that's fair. But I don't think it's a class either way. So I think we can debunk, especially it being that Reddit user.
Oh, no, I don't think this Reddit user thing is right, but I think this was somebody learning.
Yeah.
If it was truly him, he would have had the number disconnected. He would have changed his number.
Yeah,
right?
totally, absolutely, 100%. Yeah. Well, I guess briefly just to mention that website or that phone number, whatever. It's not. It didn't. And I'm sure it didn't rank to anything. It was just a voicemail. It was just a recorded message.
So I
know we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
Next up is that it could be an ARG, which you may remember is an augmented reality game. Which
I thought that was alternate
or augmented reality game.
Okay.
I guess if this is an ARG, I don't understand ARGs.
I'm not sure I do either, to tell you the truth.
To be honest, like maybe like a puzzle solving thing, maybe, but it's that's the only way that I can. That set of noises is the only way I can react to this.
Yeah,
theory.
this is one of the odder ARGs in terms of getting people to interact.
I will grant that, the wiki and the orb changing colors does suggest an interactive quality of the game or of the site, but I don't think it's a game. I don't think that was the intention.
It's a pretty slow-moving game, if it is one.
Well, if it's a game, it makes me think of those Commodore 64 games I used to remember where they were completely text-based.
Yeah.
Your character walks into the forest. What do? And you would type in, throw rock at bird, and then it would respond.
There was one of those that was for Hitchhiker's Guide, and you had to say open eyes. It was like the biggest challenge. I was like 13 trying to figure out how to play with my friend, and it was like it wouldn't respond to anything until you said like, okay, open your eyes. And then it was like, oh, you open your eyes in your bedroom. What do you do now? And you had to be like, sit up,
go north,
in bed.
Yeah.
It was insane. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that's what this is at all. I don't think so.
That does bring back great memories of there was the original text game, I think, was Adventure.
Yeah,
Adventure, and that was awesome. I really got a lot of fun out of playing Adventure.
By the way, do you know what I just saw they brought back for kids in printed format?
What's that?
Choose Your Own Adventure.
Good.
Do you remember those?
Yeah.
They brought those back. I saw volume after volume of them the other day at a store. I'm like, yes!
Awesome.
Greatest book ever.
Okay, next theory is that it's a cult of some kind. I think the term cult implies something really sinister to me. I also think that a cult would imply that there's an attempt to like get people together into a community in real life. And Open didn't seem interested in revealing anything about themselves or getting people to, come together in real life. Or really do anything other than like interact with people with this like weird pseudo quantum physics science.
Okay. I'll wait.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, I didn't even know that he wrote that stuff. A lot of that stuff, there were some pages that were went on for a while. He might have just cut and pasted that from somewhere else. Yeah, there could be cut and paste.
I feel like. Okay, yeah, you're right. Cult has a bad tone to it, but a lot of things that I've seen like this where people, they try to get everybody who thinks the same together, and then there's this insular quality because we're all talking to each other and we all think the same. And I feel like rather than say this was the pamphlet, the website was the Come Check Us Out pamphlet, and I wonder how much of the actual lobbying to join the team happened via email. Because open at oct282011.com was a valid email address.
Yeah, I almost emailed it.
Open was responding to people, and though most of the stuff that I saw people wrote in was either, no offense, but lame or bogus, because I don't believe they actually said the things they said. But it seems like maybe that's the way that they felt like that was the best way to do the channel of communication. And maybe with the phone number in conjunction, it was Open wrote back and said, say the code word of Angel Key Crown, or I don't know, I'm making this up. Then leave your phone number. I will call you back and we will discuss. Do I think that that's what it was? I highly doubt it, but that's totally within the realm of possibility.
It is.
Oh, the only problem I have with that is that if he had totally recruited a bunch of people into his cult, then by now at least a few people would have left the cult, gone public.
Yeah.
But you know what? I've only seen comments or email chains from a couple of people. And they were always the first emailer too. And yet Open must have had some decent conversations with people based on what's in the wiki. Yeah. Because the end of the wiki has a bunch of content that you can tell comes from emails. And so I wonder if we don't hear from those people because they are like-minded people who wanted to believe this kind of stuff,
Well,
and
so-
therefore were willing to fall in line.
So for me, that falls under something else. I don't think that falls under cult.
Oh no, I don't think it's cult, but
Right. So, and that's my next kind of theory, right? Is that there's like something else going on here. I want to take this moment to address some things that we know that we haven't talked about yet, or at least that we think we know. One is I'm pretty sure Open is from California, and this whole thing is based out of California. You will hear.
start in California. That was
Yeah,
on the
that's
text.
part of it. There's a lot of exploration of these numbers, these like giant numbers that we've been talking about, of actually being geographic coordinates.
Possible.
And people have done some searches on those, and oftentimes they do end up in California.
I couldn't get any of them to work.
Yeah, you have to do a lot of. Some people say you end up in Yosemite.
I heard that from William.
Yeah, but other people say, and I've seen this too, you end up kind of in like the LA County area. And then there's also one certain little bit of text. It's a stream of consciousness post from Open. I think it's on Records. Maybe not. I can't remember where I saw this. But Open talks a lot about strings of numbers being really prominent in their life. And they say, 1 and 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 1, 8, and then like continues on. And it always stood out to me, like, why would you say 1 plus 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 1, 8? What's 818? 818 is an area code in LA, right outside of LA. So that's pretty significant. And then also, you sent me, somebody did an IP search, and it returned at the time.
'Cause today you can't do it.
Yeah, and it returned an area of kind of
Is it Brea?
Brea in California, which is like right next to where the cutoff for 818 area code is.
Is Brea in Orange County?
It's right it's like there's like this intersection of where like Orange County, 818, and Brea all kind of come together. They're not like exact.
Kind of a 3-point.
Yeah, but you could. I mean, with the margin of error, you could be.
Well, it's interesting because the phone number, the area code for the phone number that they
Is
actually
Orange, Texas.
get, Orange County, Texas.
Yeah.
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 So I
Which
wonder if you did a swap of area codes and called that number. I wonder what that would.
I wonder what that would result.
Yeah. Have you tried it yet?
No, I haven't.
Because we just talked about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's interesting to me, that bit. Regarding the phone number as well, you will see this on almost every write-up that you see of this case. You will see people say, people call the number a couple times in a row. And the first 2 times people hear, it just picks up and you hear breathing and then a loud beep.
And sometimes you hear like there's one where the guy heard something scraping, like something being dragged across the floor.
Which is actually just breathing. I've heard the recordings.
Yeah.
I could make that into that. But you will also see that at least one caller, quote unquote, called and heard something too horrible to report that was just screaming on the 3rd call.
Well, it was more than screaming. It was like the first part of it was screaming.
And then it was just horrible.
Yeah, something else horrible.
You will see that repeated again and again and again. Well, I am here to tell you that in talking to William, who created this video that is often referred to with this case, that he has told us that he added that bit in as an ARG that was going on his YouTube channel. That is an invalid piece of evidence for this case.
He inserted it for fun.
Which, and to his credit, I don't think that he realized when he made that video that would be parroted so frequently that would be used as evidence.
Problem with the internet, man.
It is. It really is. So, and I don't think when he was making the video, he was like, I know, I'll add this to the case. I think he just...
Unlike us.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he just thought to himself, like, oh, this is a great place for my ARG thing to, like, fit into this case. And so there's no instance in which somebody has called the phone number and gotten anything other than the exact same message, which makes everybody think it's just an outgoing voicemail.
So what is so I have actually, before his video, I've seen some stuff about that phone number and what happened. So what is it that you are saying happens when
So I
phone
called
number is
it.
called?
And it rings for a couple times, and then it picks up. and then it's just like silence or like faint noises. It kind of sounds like it's like in someone's pocket
Okay.
for like a couple seconds, and then there's beep.
Okay. Because
That's it.
I had read from people. Now again, we are at the mercy of the people who are posting this stuff for the truthfulness of it. But I have heard that it was a series of beeps. I've heard that it was numbers, and I've also heard that people who left a message got a reply.
Okay, I can't discount the people who left a message, got a reply, but I can say that like without fail, when you see somebody post on a forum like, I just called it and I heard this, somebody will post right after that, say, you are a liar, I just called it and got the same thing.
And see, that's where it's coming from, is that I had somebody said, I got this weird, I was going to say a different word, crap. And the person said, you're a liar. It was a series of beeps. And that's where I'm getting.
Interesting. No, I mean, it's possible.
I mean, it could have changed. I don't know. I don't have a stake in that.
Yeah, I don't either. But I don't think anything weird is happening with that thing.
Yeah.
But definitely that whole like screaming too disturbing thing, that's not real.
You know, I actually think that there should be a little project here. Now, lots of us need to call this number, and that when it beeps, leave a message. Leave a nice long message.
Yeah.
And then if we all call and fill up their mailbox, their voicemail box, then the whole thing stops working.
Yeah.
They just got to answer. You got to like delete voicemails or something like that.
So we can start that when you guys start contacting us.
Yeah.
Let's arrange a time where we all start calling.
We'll all just bombard them. We'll
Yeah.
fill up the voicemail because I'm just curious to see if it's probably just somebody's cell phone.
Yeah,
And we can
or
fill
what?
If we can fill up their voicemail box, we should try it.
Yeah.
The subscriber you have called is not in network.
So I guess, for me, when it all comes down to it, I think that October 28th, 2011 is really just based on, I think it's just one person who's running it. When you Google October 28th, 2011, you find out that apparently, and this is like a well-documented thing, it is the end of an era and the dawn of the ninth unity wave of consciousness. Which is some like new age spiritually, like, again, that pseudo quantum physics sort of situation where apparently like the end of one era and we're taking the step up on the pyramid to the highest consciousness.
Is this from the Quickening video?
No.
Do you remember? Did you guys?
Yeah, it's not though.
Okay, sorry. I'll wait.
Yeah, no. And this is like a thing that's a lot of people believe in, whether it's true or not. It's based in the Mayan calendar. It's based in a lot of like this weird, consciousnesses, reality, science. But I think, for me, based on like a lot of the spelling and grammar and deep, I'm like doing jazz fingers over here, like deep quality of a lot of these posts. I really
Deep
think
as in shallow.
Yeah.
But-
Well, I mean, there are attempts at being like really deep and profound. Like I
But,
recognize this a lot as like something that I would have, as a teenager or like early 20s person, been like, this is so deep. Oh my God, nobody's ever
exactly.
discovered. Like, if you just look in the eyes, you will know. I mean, that's the sort of thing that it reads to me, and I definitely went through that phase. I think a lot of us go through those phases, and I think to me it's just like some kid who like just saw What the Bleep and like just discovered this whole like consciousness quantum thing and like Googled
And loved to type
interesting
and figured out
dates.
how to code.
Yeah.
Or it could have been somebody who was kind of a cynic and just decided to put up a bunch of new agey crap and see how many people